What is up, everybody? What's going on? We are back with some Kuva Valence information. These Kuva weapons, the new Kuva weapons that are out. Everybody gets the basis of the Kuva weapons, the elemental bonus, the use a certain frame to spawn a certain weapon with a certain element, get what you want. Alright, great. Now, what's this mixing them together crap people are talking about? I don't know. What? Does that replace? This replaces this, and I get the high number, or what? Huh? So I saw a lot of talk about this earlier in chat, people's and Discord, clan chat, and whatnot, and Alliance. Excuse me. All right, so apologies. I'm going to use this as my first example because I did this specifically on purpose. So this is I collected a whole ton of various Kuva weapons for this video to kind of mishmash and to put together for you guys so you can see a bunch of different things happen as they progress. One of them will be a number of copies of the same weapon to see it progress, all the way from A to B to C to D to E. Gosh only knows what percent we're going to end up at by the end of it. So we'll see. And then one of them I'm changing elements on purpose, so we'll talk about why you might want to do that as well, and why I'm specifically doing that for that specific item. So this is my Brahma. Obviously, we're going to go to the equip so that we can see they've added this lovely feature of showing you the element and the percent bonus of the weapon now, rather than just, the weapon. And not having any information. You can see it doesn't show heat here, none of that stuff. It's just the weapon information that it used to be horrible. And now at least we have that. So I have this Brahma here, and as you can see I have a second Brahma here. This one is a Toxin Brahma, and much lower percent, but that's irrelevant because we get to put them together. That's the whole point of this whole Valence deal. So the reason that both of my Brahmas are still level 0 is because I wanted to get a good name, right? So whichever one you use as the main item, right? So one item is going to get consumed and put into the main item, okay? So the one you use as your main item, that's the name that's going to stay. And primary weapons currently do not have a way for us to rename them in-game. DE, if you're listening, you should, when you add modular primaries, I know you'll add that as a feature to, naming modular primaries. In the meantime, please make that a tiny, small little patch and add it to Darvo's store and let us do that same exact thing, but with Davo, because I'm sick of waiting. These names are fucking horrible. I'm sure you've seen some of my other videos where I've already renamed 3 of my 4 secondaries. Anyway, the point being is the main weapon is what gets the name. This Jugalakaboo's whatever the fuck ruse with the apostrophe at the end was the first Brahma I got, and I was like, nah dude, that name sucks. I ain't keeping that shit. No way am I putting fucking 40 levels and 5 forma into that shit and then just dumping it into something else to get a better name. So I just kept it at 0. And then I got this one, Mubirbu Lal. It's not a bad name, so I'll keep that. I'll make that this is going to become my main. Alright? So that's now my main weapon. It's got, as we saw, we'll go back and look just to be sure, 51.7% bonus on there. Right? So what we do is we go to the upgrade screen. Right? And then same way you would do like Forma or Catalyst, Potato, any of those sorts of things, go down to the Actions menu down here. And then you're going to have this Valence Fusion option with your Kuva weapons, right? So we're going to do that. And then it's going to give us a pop-up. Right? And these are all the other weapons we have of that same type that we can choose to consume. We're basically going to break this into pieces in order to make the other one stronger. I don't really know a better way to explain it, but this one disappears, the other one gets juiced up. The point being is the one that's already at 40, if you go the other way to get the name of the other one, you're losing level 45 formas, etc. If it's worth it to you to change the name, I've done it. It's worth it. Fuck it. What's 5 forma and 40 levels? What's that, like a day? 30 seconds in ESO? Like, whatever. That ain't shit. But point being is the main weapon is the one that you're stuck with for the name. So we're keeping that one, and then these are the ones that we have for options to consume. This is a toxin 25.3%. So what's going to happen here is the original name is going to stay. The new element bonus will be toxin. Toxin's going to overwrite the heat. They don't go together. There's no combination. They overwrite. All right. So the toxin's going to overwrite the heat. And the 25.3 and the 51.7 from the two items go into an equation. That equation comes out with a number, and that will be our new bonus. Okay? So we're going to take this. It's going to ask us to make sure we really want to do it. Heat 51.7 will be upgraded with toxin 56.8. Look at that. We're picking up a 5.1% bonus just by typing transfer. Isn't that lovely? Bam. And instantly we went from 96.4 heat damage to 0, and 0 to 106.2 toxin damage. And now if we back out and we go to the equip screen, we have our Morbiru Lal Kuva Brahma with a 56.8% toxic bonus, which is exactly what we wanted. New name, toxin element, higher percent. So we've accomplished all three there. Another one we're going to do, right? We also have, as you can see, there's a whole slew of level 0 Booba weapons down here. I don't know if you guys use it, but that's slang for us. We call Kuva Booba. So I've got a ton of hinds, of Kuva hinds. So we're going to use this as the next example, because it's going to jump real good in percent, because we have a whole bunch of them. So it's going to go A, B, C, D, etc., so on and so forth. Let's see. So right now we're at toxin 25.5. Nothing very special. Certainly not very good. I mean, it's 25% is the lowest you can go. This is literally like garbage. But what we're going to do is, again, we go to that Valence Fusion, Actions, Valence Fusion. Now we have 2 to pick from. It doesn't matter which one I use here. It's just going to, again, take the element type, and both of them are toxin. Right? So that is irrelevant. It's going to stay toxin no matter what. I want toxin as my element here. These are just 2 more numerics to throw into that equation to get us the new numeric at the end. So we're going to grab this 28.2% toxin here, and we're going to use that one. And that is going to turn this 25.5 and the 28 something into a 31. And that's pretty good. We'll take it. So, I can't spell. Apparently it's transfer. I don't want to transfer. I want to transfer. There we go. Transfer successful. As you can see, all of the numbers jump because we have increased the base damage bonus of the item. So not only does it raise the elemental bonus, but it's also going to raise any other relevant numbers on that weapon. So if it's an IPS or any other sort of inherent, any of those sorts of things, it's also going to impact those numbers as well. So now,
well put together,
let's go back and look at this guy.
And
so now we have, oh, look at that, 31.0% even. That's all right. So we're getting there, right? So let's go and we can do it again because we had that second hind. So let's go ahead and grab this one. That's a 50.5% toxin bonus. This is going to end up with 55.6% at the end of this. That sounds pretty darn good to me, given that the max is 60. I think I'm going to click OK. What do you think? Let's watch how big the green numbers go. This is almost double the bonus. It's 24.6% more on a 31% core. So that's, I mean, literally two-thirds, three, something like that, whatever, babbity ba. That's a big jump. So let's see how big those numbers go. Bam! Good stuff. 845, 5 corrosive. Loving it. Loving it. We do see a little drop in the other numbers, but that's for different reasons. That's completely separate stuff. And the drop that you do see is literally like 0.2, 0.2, 0.1. And you go down to other fire modes and you see different changes of plus 0.1, plus 0.1. You know, it's the element itself that's getting that massive percentage jump. So going from 6 something to 8 something, 2K to 25, you know, 6 to 8, that's a pretty big jump. Pretty big jump. So now we go back to equip, and we look over, and we're sitting on a 55.6% Kuva Hind, Toxin Kuva Hind, which I build for corrosive, and with the inherent toxin, also gives me the option for viral, and it also gives me the option for immediately a toxin-heavy gas build. And in case you didn't know, in a gas build, the toxin percentage of the gas combination is used more in the calculation. So they use that toxic split. So if you roll tox heavy, you're going to get a higher damage amount. So if you use a 90 toxin, a 60 heat, you're going to get a higher gas tick than if you used 290s or 260s or whatever it may be. So let's go on to the next weapon that we got here. And I believe that is the Kuva Karak. So I know I have at least another one of those. So let's go back and get that base bonus again, just so we know where we're at. Alright, so Toxin 33.7 Vogue Og. It's kind of a great name. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Og audio protocol, .og. It was kind of like the underground MP3 for a long time. So it was like infinitely better quality with like half the file size. And no one used it. It was insane. So a bunch of us used to write batch scripts to convert all our MP4s to OGs to give out to people like, here, save like literally gigabytes of space on your computer. Anywho, so 33.7% toxin. We're going to come back here. We're going to upgrade. And again, we'll come back down to actions. We're going to go to that balance fusion. And it's going to pop up and give us our option of that one Kuva Karak. It's 25.7, so it's not going to be a very big jump. But the smallest jump I've seen is between like 3 and 5%. So we're going to end up decent even after this. I mean, it's not going to be great, but it'll be decent. Not bad, not bad. So we're going to end up almost just under 4% from a basically zero weapon. So even an absolute core 0 weapon is going to net you at least approximately 4%. It might take you a lot of 25% to get to 60, but it's doable. And bam, look at that, 660, 690, 102. Yeah, again, that was a really small adjustment, and this is the Karak, so they're not big numbers, but you see a almost 30-point jump in the corrosive, which turns out to be a big jump in terms of proc chance. So that's really the more important thing there. We do have, I believe, one more Kuva primary to do. I think it's the Drac. It is indeed. It's the only remaining level 0 besides the Brahma. And this one is currently 49.1% radiation. Right? So when I hop over here, the build that I would normally run on this little bad boy is slash viral, right? Because look at your IPS split, 237, 237, 1900. And then, modded for viral, I'm getting the 7438. And then my bonus is the radiation, which is fucking 10k. So, now, while I don't mind radiation, it's a great proc. It's not a bad thing, but that's more likely to proc than viral is. That's more likely to proc than slash is. I don't want this to be procking, 3-to-1 compared to my viral procs. I don't want it going 4-to-3, or compared to my slash procs. That's not what I'm building the weapon for. So, what we're gonna do is the lovely Valence fusion. We're gonna grab this level Dragoon of 37.7% toxin. So as I mentioned, we did before with the heat Brahma, we're gonna overwrite that radiation bonus with a pure toxin bonus to let us build straight viral off of the toxin. And as you guys are hopefully aware, right now armor is fucking crazy, so just don't run slash viral at all. Just put corrosive on everything. So this isn't, I'm not current, I haven't used this recently, obviously, as you can see, because viral is still on there. But this gives me, again, the point of toxin. It gives you that flexibility of corrosive, viral, toxin heavy gas immediately. You can even not add, depending on your percents and things like that. Like, you could literally just add the tiniest amount of toxin so you can get a Bane or so you can get an Expel onto there for that super duper dips of factions. Anyway, let's click the button and find out what we're getting, because this is some pretty good numbers. Oh yeah, 49.1% rad into 54% toxin. I think I'm gonna click transfer OK, because I'm kind of feeling good about that button. Booyaka! Now here is the really important thing. Now this weapon does have inherent viral, it is the track, right? So we back out. But look at that swap, right? Instead of 10 and 7, we've got 93 and 89. Almost perfectly even. And with this weighted at, IPS obviously for status, the not status chance, but once a status is determined to proc, which type of status procs. IPS is weighted 4x, so that's approximately 2k, that's about 8k, so we have approximately an equal chance of proccing slash rad and viral, as opposed to that massively skewed number that we had prior to. And I can simply go right on over here, and as you can see, we're using plenty of 60s so that we are hitting the right stuff. That's also why I have rad viral too, because I'm running a whole bunch of 60s. Wait, maybe it doesn't have inherent. I could be wrong. I don't know, let's find out. Boom! Nope, it doesn't, because now it's just straight corrosive blast. I fucking hate corrosive blast, but sometimes you just don't have a choice, because as soon as I click this, 98.2, and I'm like, I'm not really feeling that. I don't know for positive what specific math this weapon does use, whether it's pellet or projectile, or single shot status proc, which if it's single shot, then 98.2 is fucking fantastic. That's great, I'll take it. I'll happily drop blast for that. I'll rock fucking corrosive and heat. Happily stack something else over there. It's fucking plenty of points. It's the beauty of Buva weapons. It's 80 points for that shit. Side note, if you're out on the Drac, Fomorian Accelerant, it's a Dragoon only mod, drops from Kella to Thame, bounces up to 4 times and travels 60% faster. Dude, I literally just shoot the floor and let the shit bounce around the room and murder people. It's fucking awesome. I love it. It's just so much fun. Um, and it's no crit, just pure, just charged up, bazoom! Fire chunks of that shit. Just let it bounce around rooms and slaughter people. It's kind of hilarious. And then the entire time you're doing that, you're parkouring like a ninja through the entire thing, and they can't hit you for shit, but you're dropping these bouncy, exploding, well, they don't explode, but these bouncing slash things of death. It's kind of excellent. Anyway, we're going to leave it like this with the corrosive blast for now, because, like I said, I don't know specifically about the mathematics, and I'm not going to risk the non-100 chance, because I don't know if you guys are, presuming you are familiar with pellet math, anything less than 100, even 99.9, is basically like 0.0000000000001. So fucking useless. 100 or nothing. 100 or get the fuck out. So I'm just gonna leave it at 100 for the safe side. And even at 100, we're still at almost 14k corrosive, 4k blast. So that's a 3.5 to 1 chance to proc corrosive. And blast compared to slash, or slash when it gets that 4x is going to actually be double the blast chance procs. So the likelihood of us actually getting blast procs is pretty low, given the spread of our numerics here. So that's actually pretty good in terms of combinations, and in terms of elemental and IPS numeric spread outs. Pretty sure that that's all it is indeed. We have the Ogris, we have the Toncore, we have the Tricore, we have the Dragoon, we have the Quartek, we have the Hind, we have the Karak, we have the Comb, and we have the Brahma. All we have now, and I don't know if we do, is secondaries, which we might. We do not. I haven't decided if I like this name or not. Body Tebip. So my new core is still level 0 waiting. It's on that same thing as the Brahma was before, and even the Brahma, I'm still not going to level it. I'm going to let it sit there for a while and see if I get a better name. And I think I'm going to do the same thing with the new core, because I'm just not really feeling that. But the other thing, though, is that new cores are secondaries. So you can rename them. Like, as you can see, this is bracket Kuva bracket, because it's the fucking Kuva brack. You know, Irish is Dubba Stubbas, because they're the fucking Dubba Stubbas, baby. Kuva is Kraken, because it's the Kuva Kraken. I mean, it's kind of cheesy and shit, but, like, whatever, fuck off. I'm totally renaming my guns so that I don't sound stupid. I don't have inspiration for Kuva Seer yet. Somehow it needs to be, like, I don't know, related to, like, mysticism and spiritualism, shamanism, or some shit like that. But I can't, like, I don't know, the inspiration hasn't hit yet, and I don't name anything without inspiration. I literally have like 6 Zaws right now waiting to get gilded because I haven't been inspired with names yet. And the only Kuva melee weapon, as you know, is the Shildig, and I have not bothered to collect another one of those. So that is our collection of Kuva weapons. I will conclude with what I believe to be my highest percent Kuva weapon at the moment, which is the Kuva Quartek, coming in at 59.7% toxic bonus. There is a very short video from a few days ago, a week ago maybe, of that brief Valence transfer that you can check out. So if you want to see some of the shorter valances that got us to these weapons that we were using, some of those are available as well. And those are the basics of Kuva Valence, how to do it, how to keep the right names, how to not lose your formas and levels, and most importantly, how the element changing works and why you would want to change elements. Is in terms of that, that numeric spread, so that you're getting the proc type that you want. What good is running slash viral if you never get a fucking viral proc? um, it becomes pointless. So know what you're building for or modding for, what your plan is ahead of time. What I'm doing is just going toxin with everything by default. Is just That's my personal preference. I also run everything corrosive by default. Also my personal preference. I highly recommend it anyway. Tell everybody. That's my recommendation to everyone. To run corrosive by default, swap as needed. So I'm going with toxin on everything as I get them up to 60. That way it gives me that maximum flexibility of only needing to drop in one mod for 3 of the best element combinations. So that's, and then I may either swap a weapon or get a second copy of a weapon, say a second Kuva Chakor, and give that inherent radiation and turn that into an Eidolon gun. Something like that. But that's pretty much about it. Might do a second, if Brahma wasn't such a ridiculously stupid thing right now, then I'd do fun stuff with that. But it's so fucking boring because literally everywhere I look is somebody, a fucking revenant with a Brahma. Like, really? I, I guess there's. I don't watch YouTube videos except for the ones that I put up before I put them up. So I can only presume that like some famous YouTuber made a YouTube video about how that combination is awesome, and now like everyone on the planet does it. I call it the Brahmanin. The first day the Brahma came out, I went to do a pub lich mission, and it was me and 3 people running the Kuva Brahma and Revenant. I was like, literally the exact same loadout, all 3 of them, exact same loadout. I was mind blown. Like, there is no odd, like, the statistical odds of that is mathematically fucking bonkers. I mean, oh, goodness. And then another one was, and this is what really ruined it. This ruined public games for me. I haven't played pubs since, with very few exceptions. I played a railjack mission where I got 2 Brahminants. So I was hosting, so we were on my ship, I'm flying. And it's a pub, obviously, which is why I'm hosting. I get, 2 Brahminants with come on board. Both of them just stand at the front, right next to me where I'm sitting at the pilot thingy, and just spam fire their guns into the front windshield, which is like, an inch away from my face. So all I see is massive Brahma particle effects. Just Brahma explosions everywhere in front of me is the only thing I see on my screen. As I'm trying to, Veiljack. No big deal. Not like I'm busy or anything. Could you guys maybe like, get a cruise ship or something? Maybe put a fire out. That'd be helpful. Anything that doesn't involve shooting my window? No? Okay then. Yeah. And those are all the people that are going, self-damage is terrible, it should be removed from the game. And they probably do sound like that. What I used to call squeakers on Xbox. You'd hear their voices on the headsets, and they'd be like, oh goodness, I'm sorry you guys even had to hear that. Anyway, that's it for Kuva Valence information. If you guys have any more questions about it, feel free to post comments or ask questions and whatnot. And if you'd like to see more on specific reasons about these weapons or different builds for these weapons, why certain things should be done certain ways, why Kuva Agres fucking rocks even though it explodes and blows shit up, watch the video from yesterday, self-damage, fuck you. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I will catch you guys on the flip side. As always, thank you for coming out. Thank you for the support and the love. I appreciate it. And until next time, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, whatever it may be, wherever on the globe you happen to be at this moment.